Hmm. Hello, my name is Aditya Das. My NJIT email is ad273@njit.edu. This is my IT240 bash survey. I'm currently running inside the NJIT Google Cloud Shell editor. It's a Linux environment. And as of that, I will display the current date, which is March 10th. March 10th. It's not March 10th. It's March 9th at 8:14 p.m., as you can tell from my navigation bar. And this is my home directory, and that's my UCID as shown. After that, I'm going to CD into the directory that I want to go to, which would be survey app. Then I'll go to the survey. Okay. I don't know why that didn't work. Oh, I typed two B's. Typo happened, but I'm in the directory that I need to do. After that, I'm gonna list all the files that I made. So here we have the question bank, which is the questions for the survey. User credentials, that is how you can log in or register a user for the survey. The main bash script itself, that's gonna hold the script to run the survey. And then for my test purposes, before I recorded this, I tried it with myself and I tested it with ADOS. That's why there's an answers file. That's a CSV. The program reads questions from a CSV file and then writes user credentials to a CSV file, and then each user gets their own file, which is why ADOS answers file exists. After that, we are going to open the file, which if I just go up, I'll just nano in. This is a shell script. This script is organized using functions, so each part of the program is modular. What is included in this script is a pause screen, register user, which is like enter username, invalid username has to be certain characters, numbers, and then password, or it'll say the username already exists. After that, we have login user, which is going to use that information to log in. Take survey, it's going to use the answers file CSV to create a survey. As you can tell, it gives you options A, B, C, D, like a typical survey or a quiz. After that view survey, this is where you could see the answers file, where you could see what you put. So the question and then the answer. After that, the user menu, it would say three basic steps. You can either take the survey, view the survey, or log out. And you gotta choose 1 through 3 for those options. And then the main menu, which would be register, login, and exit. Same logic, 1, 2, 3. Gotta select one, and then goodbye. After that, explaining the programming concepts required, loops. So, loops were used for while true, as you can tell for all of these. While true, if something happens, keeps the menu running. Another loop reads questions from the question bank. Another loop forces the user to enter a valid survey answer. The survey loop reads each question line by line from the CSV file until the end of the file. For the example of grep is used to search within the credentials file itself. It checks if a username already exists, and then it checks if the login credentials match that. So example would be grep ADOS user credentials CSV. That means it searches the credentials file for the username ADOS. Text processing, where we used sed -n for the question bank. So what that means is sed prints selected lines, awk can extract just the question text. So basically, We learned about this in the recent quizzes, but basically it's used for processing text files in Linux scripting. File input and output is very simple, like I mentioned earlier. Input files would be the question bank CSV, user credential CSV. So basically the information that person's using to log in or the questions that the person's using. Output files would be the username, answers file, CSV, like we saw previously from my testing, a-dos answers file.csv. The survey reads questions from question bank. Registration writes username and passwords to user credentials, and then the server responses are saved inside the user answer file. A common program, actually, now it's time to run it. So I'll run the file. So running it would be as simple as dot slash the script itself. So a common problem that I ran into, since this is one of the requirements for the recording, is I kept trying to CD into the script itself instead of, I wasn't aware that dot slash was the only way to run it. I kept trying to make it a file that ran from the directory instead of from the correct path. So instance, the dot slash tells the shell script to run from the correct directory. I got my directories messed up when I was testing this, essentially. Okay, now that we got the mistakes out of the way, we're gonna start the script, which, like I mentioned, takes us to the main menu, register, login, exit. So the first thing I would do is I'll demonstrate logging in. So I'll select two. Since this is already an account that I created, I'll do ADOS, put in the password that I was asked. Then I put in the password that I set it to. Login successful. It feeds back that it checked the credential files using grep and it's verified that it's successful. Now, once I press enter, I have the option to take survey, view survey, or 3 logout. So, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to take the survey. I based my survey based on superheroes. I'm a big fan of Marvel, DC, so might as well. Favorite superhero will always be Batman. Superhero, superpower you'd want the most. For me, it would always be teleportation. And which superhero team I like the most? Basic answer, everyone would say Avengers, but I'm an X-Men type of guy. And the most villain I find exciting or interesting per se would be Joker. And the movie I would rewatch the most is The Dark Knight because I'm a Batman fan. And then it says survey complete. After all the questions are answered, the program saves them in a user-specific answer file, like I mentioned previously, a-dos answers file. It would have all those answers. So to view those, I could press enter to continue and then press 2 to view the file. Once I view the answers, you can see every single answer that I put in just now in the demo. After that, if I press 3, I can exit the program through the menu, not by killing the program manually. If I can press 3. There we go. And it says me goodbye. Now, for the question bank of where these questions are generating from, I created a question bank CSV file. This file basically consists of all the survey questions and answer choices that I gave to the end user. Now, if we do the credentials file, these are the possible testing that I did with possible users. So ADOS and that password that I just did was the survey I just did. And another one that I was testing earlier was called Hive for just testing purposes. After that, we can show the answers file. So I would put the username that whatever anyone puts, the username, and then answers underscore file.csv. There you can see all the answers that I put to the survey itself. That being said, this bash survey application demonstrates the use of menus, loops, pattern matching with grep, and file input and output. The program allows users to register, log in, take a survey, view their responses, and exit the program through the menu system. Thank you for watching my IT240 Bash survey application presentation.